Ooh. It's wild. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I didn't realize you could flip the mirror. The mirror effect. Logan, welcome in, dude. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just getting started. I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone's Thursday's going well and they're having all the fun. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? I feel like we're really bright. I don't know why. So bright. We don't need to be that bright. I mean, we bright, but like, we don't need to be that bright. Welcome in, Brendan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just getting started. You have not missed anything. What's up with it? What's good, God? Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's having a good day. Woo. I hope everyone's having fun. We are just getting logged on here. We're doing 1555 for reads today. If you want something felt into, tapped into, you got a question, that's what we're doing today. Welcome in, welcome in. Wild Nature's Bee. Aw, that's kind of cool. Love the screen name. Dating myself. I think they call it handles now. I'm saying screen names. I don't know. Who knows? I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope it's a good Thursday. I spent a lot of time out in the park, out in the forest, on the swing set today, doing a ton of grounding. As the good weather starts to roll in, as spring comes in, as rebirth happens, as beautiful new beginnings are ushered, that kind of an energy, it's a really good time to soak it in. If you are not soaking in that kind of energy, what are we doing, collective? What are we doing? So make sure you make time for you. Love a good swing. Oh, I want to swing, like, I want to make a swing in the yard, but I keep telling myself, like, no, like, I almost want to have kids as an excuse to put up a swing. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Oops, now we get swings. People are like, it's not even born yet. We get a swing set. That's the rules. Welcome in, guys. Don't mind me. We're just starting. We are just getting started. The reads are open today, and we're going to do 1555 for everybody today. We're going to pop off with collective as soon as we just get a couple more people in here, and then we're going to pop off with the collective. So if you're in here, please smash that screen. Please share the live. Feel free to drop any comments down in the comment section. It helps us get out on FYP. If you have a win you want to share, feel free to drop your win down. We can always talk about your wins and all the great things in this room. If you guys have collective questions, feel free to drop them down too. Keep in mind, collective questions are questions that do not require me to feel into you directly, but maybe they're just a topic or something like that, a spiritual thing that you want to chit-chat about. We can do that. Send like dirty back. Hey, my dirty gat. Welcome in, welcome in. On the regular, always. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please smash that screen. We're gonna pop off with collective here in a minute as soon as we just get a few more people in here. Oh shit, no way. Oh yeah, no, it's still crow month. Yeah. As soon as I said I haven't seen any in the last couple of days, I went to the park, 3 crows. Still not the correct area for crows. Alrighty. I love this song. It's so grimy. It's just the beat. Alright guys, we're doing reads today for $15.55. So if you would like something felt into, we got Cash App, we got Venmo. 555 on your clock. I knew I did the $15.55 for a reason. 5s seem really big right now. 5s and 3s. There's something about forward movement. And then there's something else, you know, with the 3s, the coming together, the collaboration, the mind, body, soul, the transition. There's just, like, me and Keys were talking about, and she just posted a badass video, and it was 3rd time's the charm, and like that, we've been talking about that for the last couple days now. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, alright, we're gonna pop off with collective. List is open. We're doing $15.55 across the board. If you want something felt into, if you have a question, a topic, or maybe you don't know what you want and you just want a general, we can do that too. We got Cash App, we got Venmo. Please keep smashing that screen. Please share the live. Please feel free to utilize the comment section. It helps us stay out in FYP. You know what I mean? Aw, thank you for the follow, Fortnite Sands. Alright, we're going to pop off with collective. List is open. I feel like the collective's in a battle of the minds, and I don't even know, I haven't got to flip over all these cards, but I'm going to be really honest. Something here is really striking me. It's really, really striking me something hard as you fighting. Shut up. As you fighting. I mean, if I could hold the cards, dang. Or you fighting yourself. You getting yourself all worked up. You getting yourself stuck. You getting yourself trapped. And it's something about what you do to you in your mind. That's just what keeps coming up. What you do to you in the headspace. I want to call it another swords, dude. I just really feel like this is something that you bring to the table and you do it well. Unfortunately, you don't do it to your benefit yet. Like, this is still what you're bridging out of. That's why I have this death card. That's why I have this 3 of coins. You could use it in a really positive way. You could really start something new. You could use it with your fiery passion and energy, and you can do a lot of things with the way that your mind fires, and it fires so fast, and it comes up with all these things. You could utilize that, but right now it's like you're not harnessing it to be able to build alongside your creativity energy, your creation energy, and because you're not using it, and you're not putting it, you're not giving it a direction and letting it go, it's kind of causing you a little bit more heartache than help here. I split the deck as I just said, heartache than help. My God. My God. I just feel like there's something for somebody here that the old ways don't work no more. That's what I want to say. You can't fake it anymore. I don't know. I feel like this is breaking off from the head conversation that we were just starting to have. I feel like there's a split, like, some people need to get out of their freaking heads and they need to start using their Achilles heel as their superpower. Burnt. And then there's this other part over here that the old fucking way don't work for you. Like, you're gonna keep trying it, and I feel like I just keep seeing this wheel where the brake's locked up and it's not rolling, it's just smoking down the road. That's the way that I want to say it. It's like your caliper just gave way, your brakes done locked up, your cherry red just right down the road, and it's literally just your teams being like, stop, it doesn't work no more, stop, it doesn't work, and you're like, no, it does, it works, it always works, and you just keep going, and you're causing yourself more fuck shit. You're causing yourself more like, holy God, you're causing yourself more heartache, more stress, more pressure, and there's just something about you outgrew your old bullshit. That's the way I want to say it. And even though you're going through the motions, and even though you're doing the same thing you always used to do, you like can't hold it anymore. You like can't hold that mask. You can't hold that fake it till you make it. You can't hold that you're okay when you're not okay anymore. And this is someone's tower, that they're realizing that as much as they gave off this I'm like full of it, I'm strength, I got this, my oomph energy, it's also bullshit. And it's not that you can't do it. It's not that you're failing. It's just that that's not what you want to do. And there's somebody here who's bridging out of the fact that they're not where they want to be. And that's why I have this tower. Ooh, well, it's on the floor now. I had a tower card on my table. We'll pick it up later. But I had a tower card out here. And like, I feel like that's like your team's being like, we're done with it. Trash it. Because it almost fell in the trash can. Like, it's just like, somebody is fighting so hard, and you're just at the point now where you gotta put them down. You gotta put them down and do something different. This was upside down on my table. Belief card. We'll see how that ties in a second. But there's something about mustering up your strength, mustering up your courage here. I got the Emperor in reverse, and to me it just makes me feel like your structure no longer works for you. Your rules no longer work for you. I'm going to be real honest. I feel like you're a family man. And when I'm saying man, it's gender neutral. So my feminines, this could be for you. I'm just saying, I feel as though you were raised up in a lot of family. I feel as though you were raised up in a loving environment. What am I saying? It was the easiest? No. Am I saying that everything went your way? Absolutely not. Am I saying you didn't have struggles? Nope. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you were built around community, and there's some part of this isolation that has done you dirty. That's the way I want to say it. Some part of your isolation has done you dirty. And you're starting to realize that your coping or your old pattern or your mask, you're pretending everything's okay, has caused you your peace. That's what I want to say. It has caused you your peace. And they're asking you to move on to bigger, better things. And when I'm saying bigger, better things, I just mean they're asking you to be realistic with yourself. They're asking you to really start pinpointing exactly what you want. Because somebody here gets to rewrite their script. That's the way I feel like I'm saying. I feel like you have like one mask left. And the mask is like faking it till you make it. The mask is like pretending everything's okay when everything's clearly not okay. It's smiling in front and crying in the back. You have like a reverse mullet going on. You smile up front and you cry in the back. And they're just saying that there's something else that needs to budge here. Like, you have the ability to create what you want, but it's like you fool yourself into thinking that this is all there is. We got that trapped energy again. There's something about a balance here, and I feel like you're moving towards, I want to call them your emotional waters. I don't even want to call them your balance waters yet, because here's the thing. In order to be balanced, you got to feel your emotions. We were talking about this earlier today. In order to be balanced, you have to feel your feelings. You have to feel your emotions. You have to let them out. You have to give them space and energy and place to be heard and seen and felt. Releasing of your swords as we just pop out here. After bridging on another trap and stuck card. This is what you're doing. You're slowly moving through. You're slowly moving through. And there's just something here. I'm being told to pick up this stupid tower card. There, you happy? There's like something here that is just making me feel as though, oh, I know why. Lightning. Lightning, it's your breakthrough. The lightning on this card, it's your breakthrough moment. That's the way that I want to say it. That is the way that I want to say it. Something about your spark, like it's almost making me feel like it's divine spark that's hit the top of your tower. That's the way that I want to say it. Divine spark has hit the top of your tower. And now you can't help but see what you see. You can't help but look at things the way you look at things. It's not even redirection. It's like you're no longer allowed to lie to yourself. Dude, it's like a gritty removal. When we just talking about divineness, divine spark, divine intervention, we got the star card out here talking about how you're connected, your inspiration. Like, oh my goodness. I really just feel as though this is your chance to do it differently. This is your chance to do it right. And for this part of the collective, you get a redo. And I don't think people understand how big that is. Not a lot of people get actual redos in life. Not a lot of people get actual try-agains in life. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to be like, it's time to move as Let Her Go comes on. It's time to move. It's time to do something different. You can't stay where you're at. I got the Fool card out here. There's something about somebody now hold on guys, slow down. someone now having bridged part of their inner child, and I want to call it your innocence. I don't even want to call it your joy. I don't even want to call it like your naivety. No, it's like your inner child, to where it's your innocence. And something about your innocence has been able to shine through, and you're finding yourself in a whole new light. And when I'm saying light, I mean divine light, like a whole new beauty, a whole new era, a whole new spark, a whole new aura. And there's just something about it. There's just something about it that has changed the lens in which you view everything, from yourself, others, your situation. And I feel like you can no longer look the other way to bullshit. That's the way that I want to say it. You can no longer look the other way to bullshit. I have this feeling like somebody out here is wiser than they give themselves credit for. That's the way I'm going to say it. You're smarter and wiser than you give yourself credit for. And I feel as though you question what you see, because now it's so clear. You're almost questioning that it could be this clear, this crystal clear, if you didn't see it before. So it's like you see it, but you're afraid to act on it, is almost what I feel. And I really want to tell you to go seek counsel. And I want to say it just like that. Go seek counsel. That's the way I want to say it. And for those of you who don't understand what counsel is, it's not a problem. Counsel is your team, God, source. It's sitting with yourself. It's discerning things. It's chit-chatting, you know. And your team can be your spirit guides. Your team can be your ancestors. It depends on how you use it. But they're telling you to seek counsel, because it's almost like you're convincing yourself. You're kind of convincing yourself that this can't be it. This can't be right. This can't be true. Because you're just noticing it now, like, no, like, I see it, but no. Like, it's almost like shock and awe, like, you like, no, my goodness. Part of you, this is a huge, I was just about to say this is a huge cycle break. We literally have the moon and the victory card out here. The moon and the victory card out here. As I'm talking about, this is a huge cycle break for you. That's wild. We had the wheel on the bottom of the deck. I want to tell you, oh, there we go. I want to tell you that this wheel, I feel like you breaking this cycle spins your wheel. And I mean that in a big way. I just don't mean that in a little way. Like, there's something here about how this was almost like seeded. I want to say seeded or planted or planned or dropped, because there's something about the lightning on the tower card that's making me feel like this was dangled in front of you on purpose, and this was something that was a difficult lesson for you to learn, so they made you learn it twice as hard. And that's the way that I want to say it. They made you learn it twice as hard, and it's pulling me right back. Keys, it's pulling me right back to your message. Third time's a charm, dude. It's pulling me right back there. Like, you had to learn it once, you had to learn it twice, and it's like third time's your charm. Like, let's go. And they made it 10 times more difficult. They made it 10 times more uncomfortable. They made this something that you could not deny in seeing this time. You could not talk yourself out of it, but you're at this point where you're sitting there almost in awe and a little bit of like that grief-struck state, to you're like, whoa, and it's giving me this shook. It's giving me this shook energy. What did I just say? What did I just say? You learned the lesson. Student out here, and the completion card. And the completion card. You're on your way to two halves of a whole, and that's the way I want to say it, because you're still in the process of feeling everything you need to feel and seeing everything you need to see. So you're not quite wholly balanced. That's like, I'm sorry, that's the truth. You're not quite wholly balanced, but you're getting there. I got an Emperor out again. Jesus. I'm going to be honest. I feel like this is a long time coming, and I feel like this is a lot of places with a lot of different faces, but the same ball game. That's the way I want to say it. The same playbook, different people, different places, different spaces, different faces. But it was the same bullshit. And I feel like it was the same bullshit for like 10 years. Like, that's the way I want to say it. Like, same bullshit for 10 years. It didn't even matter. Same bullshit for 10 years. But that's also why it's so hard. I feel the need to tell somebody that's also why it's so hard for you to kind of want to be like, and abandon it. That's also why it's so hard, is because now it's become your comfortability. Now it's become your norm. Now it's become your regular. And it's almost like it's difficult to move on. We got the movement and the balance card. Your balance comes with your movement. Your balance comes with your movement. Because where you're at, I'm going to say it right now, where you're at, you're not going to find balance there. That's the way I want to say it. Where you're at, you're not, 9:09 on the clock. Where you're at, you're not going to find balance there. Because it's nothing but fuck shit and it's nothing but chaos. That's the way I want to say it. I got a 42 out on the table, which makes me feel like that's 6, which is victory. And there's something here about the water. I'm not getting the water card, but I'm getting a lot of water in the cards. a lot of cups, a lot of waterfalls, a lot of rain, a lot of stuff like that that's making me pull to the water element, but it's also coincided with nature. I feel as though you need to seek water in nature, not just water at the house. There's something about you need to get your feet out in the grass. Like, take your socks and shoes off, put your feet in the grass. There's something about you being disconnected, and it's making it harder for you to make a decision because you're planted right in the middle of like a three-way, is the way that I want to say it. And I can feel somebody in this room smirking, and that's not what we're talking about. Like, but it's just like there's something here that you're in the middle of, like almost like a crossroads or something like that, to where it's time to do something different. And that's where this hesitation comes in, because that's the battle of the mind, that's the battle of the games, that's that air energy, that's that sword that slices you. You know, this is kind of what we're doing now, and they're asking you to move differently. And you can't do new things in an old space, so you're going to have to go somewhere else. And for some people, especially when we have so much active air energy, because air is so light in density and it moves so quickly, and it is not easily seen with the naked eye. Sure, we can see wind moving items, but wind itself is not easily seen. It moves very quickly, very rapidly, and often doesn't have the most steadiest of patterns. And because of this, because it's such a light energy, that's why they're pulling in the earth. That's why they're putting in the water, because they don't want to restrict your flow. They want the flow of water to happen, the rain, the stream, the puddle, whatever it is. They want that flow to be there with the natural water element, but they want you to also be feet in the ground, feet in the grass, grounded, more solid, to slow all that chaos energy down. And if you needed any more confirmations, this is straight to your rebirth. It's time for you to move on. This is all confirmations in this deck. Like, it's your rise up. Like, this is... We just grabbed that deck for confirmations with the other 4 tarots told us the whole time, but you're on the right path, and it's time to move. Like, don't stop. You're being blown in the right direction. Wow, that took me back to white chicks. Every time your mama breastfeed, all it comes out is white powder. But it's one of those things that, like, it's time. Okay, this song, Wiz Khalifa, On My Level, I feel like that's what you're doing. You're getting on a new level. Like, that's the way I want to say it. Because you have to drop a mask and you're ascending. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. So, like, it's now time to put action behind what you see, behind what you notice, behind your awareness. They're calling you into action. That's wild. I definitely should have brought more water. And I realize that now. Welcome in, guys. We are just getting started. List is open. We're doing 1555 today for reads. So if you would like something felt into, or something pulled on, or maybe you have a question or a topic, or maybe you don't know it all and you just want a general, we do that too, so don't worry. We can just let it rip and let source lead, spirit lead, teams lead. That's fine. I do that all the time. So if you want something like that, we got Cash App, we got Venmo. The only thing I ask is that you come back in, you let us know that you donated and how you donated. And that'll get you on the list. Welcome in, guys. I feel the need to tell somebody. I'm going to scroll back through the comments. I feel the need to tell somebody in this room, though, whoever's in my room right now, like, I'm going to need you to flip your perspective. There's just somebody in here who has, like, this weight of the world energy on them, who has, like, so much on their plate, so much on their shoulders, that you're seeing, like, this transition as just death to you, death to your space, and it's the opposite. It's the end of something to start something new, and just because you can't see the new and exactly what it is yet, it's okay. That's where your faith, that's where your trust comes in. There's just some very heavy energy in here, and I can feel it, and it's like that rock in a hard place, don't know where to go from here kind of energy, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to hit our own rock bottom to get moving. Some people, rock bottom is what it takes to get moving, and it is okay. Because we have all hit our personal rock bottom at one point or another. So you are not doing anything that somebody else has not done. Do not worry. Like, Do not worry. But I'm going to tell you, you need to feed the outcome that you want to have happen. So, if you don't want to end up in the gutter, if you don't want to be overrun with chaos or smushed or have a negative outcome, then that's not what you want to feed. So you want to be feeding the positive outcome. You want to be feeding the best scenario possible. Excuse me, because I'm going to be real honest. They're not going to let you fail. Like, they're just not. They're just not. But you can make it a possibility if you're worrying or focusing on it. Or you're like, oh man, I don't have enough of this. I don't have enough of this. Oh, what if I do? Like, the universe is going to be like, bet, yes to all of it. You don't have enough of this. You're going to struggle here. Yup, that's going to happen. You need to do the opposite. So I don't know who's their worst enemy right now in this room, back and forth, in their head, in their mind. I can feel the energy, and as I'm calling it out, it's starting to dissipate a little bit. But it's okay. I'm not shooting you out to make you feel bad. It's just to bring awareness to it for you, so you switch what you're feeding. It's not which wolf will you feed, it's how much will you feed each wolf. Because yeah, you need to be prepared for anything, of course. Like, that's just life. But it only takes you one thought to be prepared. And then you can plan for the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you want to feed. You want to feed a timeline that's going to work out everything in your benefit, everything in your profit, all your abundance. You don't need to feed a timeline where you get run over and plowed over. Like, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. You're the creator of your individual universe. That's the way I want to say it. Your individual universe, your individual reality. You can manifest the life you want, right? If we believe that, you can also manifest the worst timeline for you possible. So, careful. Like, careful. like, simmer down, girl. Careful. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? I'm going to scroll back through here. List is open. We're doing reads for 15:55. I'm going to just say hi to everybody and see what you guys got going on in these comments. Welcome in, welcome in. Dude, Brendan, it is 1,000% the month for crows still. We went out to the woods, and I just told Kalilia that I haven't seen crows in a couple days, and, you know, maybe that was the end of the crow saga for a little while. We sat down at the park today, and all of a sudden 3 crows flying around in a circle, and I'm like, okay, there we go. Not only is that another 3 ping, but crows again, here we go. Crazy how it happens. My crow card came out like 4 times tonight when I was throwing. See exactly. 555 on my clock. Welcome in, guys. Classic overthinking for me. The Sword's energy has been heavy in the collective. Time to face your fears into the unknown. Oh, 1,000%. Hey, Dream Angel. How's it going, dude? I hope you're having a great night. Are they karmics or kardics? I don't understand what you're talking about, and I'm sorry. I view things differently, so it's probably just not a label I'm familiar with. It's probably just not a label I'm familiar with, just because I don't use it in my practice. I believe everybody has the potential to be a karmic, because I view karmics as a teacher. I don't always view them as something that, is like here to give you your like reaping of your past life. Like, I don't always view them like that. I just view it more in the general like cause and effect. So I believe you can have good karma, good karmics. But they're also usually here to show you a different perspective, to trigger something in you, or to have you, force you to stand up for yourself, assert your boundaries, or something like that. So I view them more as teachers. So they're someone who kind of like gives you something to learn about yourself, about others, about your ability. Like, it doesn't matter. But that's why I say, like, if I view them like that, anything has the potential to be a karmic. So, Yellow. Rebecca, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Deep-seated patterns, front and center, ready to be ended. Yo, I'm so pumped for the whole collective. Like, I know that's kind of weird as like a single person to be like pumped for the collective, but no, I'm 100% pumped. Weren't we just talking about the ending of cycles, death, and the Ace of Wands as we come into Aries season? But that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, it's time to put the things and the patterns aside that didn't serve you and put them aside, like all the way aside, because this is like big boy pants season. Like, pull them on up. Get your pull-ups ready. Like, let go. You know? It's me. I've been there a few times. Lilia. Girl, I think everything's you, dude. Like, everything's you. Every time I come out here, you're like, stop calling me out. But dude, this is a good place to be in the collective. Like, this is. Because you're right in the precipice of change. You're right in the precipice of creation energy. If this is where you're at. You know? I hope everyone's having a good, fantastic night. We all need to excessively hydrate. I got my feet in the grass for real. Dude, fags. Welcome in, Miss Bethany. I haven't seen you forever. How's it going, dude? I'm watching my friend's pets for the evening, so I have an outdoor space for the evening. Oh my god, have fun. I froze my little booty cheeks off this afternoon being out in the park for like 3.5 hours. Because before we went live, I was out for like an hour and a half myself, and then we set up for live. So like, it got chilly. It's chilly. Aries season means business. You know, I'm so excited for Aries season. I'm not in Aries, in Western, but like, I'm gonna tell you what, like, I'm super excited because you know what? It's fast-paced movement. It's fast-paced movement. It's fiery movement, and a lot of fiery movement means no bullshit movement, especially when you utilize it correctly, but it's also creation. So whatever you want to create, this is the best season for it. Like, this is the best season for it. Like, fire is creation energy. Should you choose to utilize it and funnel it and harness it in the best way possible, like, watch out. Like, watch out 1,000%, because that's where your confidence comes in. That's where your passion comes in. That's where your dreams come true. Like, it's wild what you can get done. Sacred, divinely protected space. Lots of giddy souls in this beautiful space. Yeah, dude, we're just having fun. You know what I mean? So if anybody has collective questions while we wait, you know what I mean, for someone to pop on that list, like, go ahead, drop them in the comments. We'll open a whole chat space. I don't mind, you know? So just keep in mind, collective questions are questions that don't require me to feel into you in specific, but maybe they're just something in a topic or something like that. Or maybe you want to share a win. Like, you're always allowed to share a win. You know what I mean? Hey, Courtney, I feel like this is the 5th or 6th time that you've popped in my live asking that exact question. And I feel like I've answered you a couple times about it, though. So I can pull like a read for you, but it's a paid space. So today they're $15.55. But I'm going to be real honest. I think that space is probably best for a private read. Only because it's so interpersonal. We can do it on live if you want. But I'm going to be real honest. I'm not going to give you a yes or no answer. But we can break down in your highest, greatest good what the honest look is at the relationship and the energy surrounding it in every way, shape, or form. So I can do that for you if you want. But if you want to get like super nitty gritty and in the details, I would probably tell you to do a live, like a non-live space, and do a private space. So that way we can sit one-on-one and you can ask questions right in the moment, and you can pause me and stop me and like, you know what I mean? That would probably be the best space for that type of a read, if that's something you're wanting. Kendra, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. But like, full honesty, like, you know what I mean? Full honesty. I'm having a lot of people lately telling me that they've been feeling people pull on people being pulled on by outside energy, whether that be soul ties, family members, you know, or just people in the general vicinity of you. So just be mindful if you're in this collective and you're in this space. Just be mindful that everything you're feeding into is actually you, and everything that you're putting up with is yours, because you, like, everybody has enough going on that we don't need to be adopting things that aren't ours, especially energetically. You know, I told my therapist about y'all's advice from yesterday and this morning, And she was glad I got it. Aw, she's glad there are a few folks in my orbit who are no BS and willing to call me out. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, that's really nice, Kalilia. Dude, I'm so happy that that's the case. Because that's awesome. Like, I'm glad if your therapist, you know what I mean, says that the stuff that we give is solid advice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, that means the advice we give backs up her degree. So that's wild. Like, that to me is wild. Like, completely and utterly wild. I'm so glad. Because that means you got 2 good sessions. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Like, that means you got 2 good sessions. Because you got roasted by me and Keys, giving you all the straight facts. And then you got to therapy and you got to break things down. And you got to work on other things. And you got hella support. So, like, thank you so much, because that's awesome. Like, that's straight up awesome. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I missed you. How are you doing? Dude, you know, we're doing pretty good. The energetic pulls have been massive, but, it's just a lesson. It really just is. It's a lesson on boundaries. And we were talking about it this afternoon in our dual live. Like, it's just a lesson on boundaries. You know what I mean? We're not going to continuously be pulled on, you know, and that's kind of us setting up our own boundaries, and it's hard to do and it's not easy, but it's the truth, because nobody deserves to put up with anybody's energy that's not theirs. We all have enough to deal with. We don't need other people's energy in our auric field, in our, you know, stuff for us to deal with. As the burdens card falls out, like, literally. This is just all these things that are coming to the head right now. And I feel like the masculine collective is, like, doing some crazy things, is the way that I want to say it. Because out here on this table, I got this King of Coins, I got this Wheel of Fortune, and him breaking through his heartache, his sorrow, the things that caused him pain, grief, turmoil, and it's coming out in a whole new emotional beginning. It's physical abundance, it's physical completion. You know what I mean? It's standing in his power. Like, this is exactly the kind of stuff they're dealing with. Completion. Like, just all the wild, crazy stuff that we've been talking about. It just seems like for a certain part of the subsection of the collective, it's coming true. Miss Tanya, how is it doing, dude? I haven't seen you in a hot ass minute. How's it going, dude? Are you having fun? Are you having a good Thursday? I almost said Tuesday. Are you having a good Thursday? Like, how is life? Good? Alright, dude. Dude, that's what's up. That's what's up. List is open, guys. We're doing reads for $15.55. So if you would like a read, that's what it costs today. Go ahead and jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Now, but we have Cash App. We have Venmo. So if you want something felt into, we can do it. Spring break. Oh, yeah. Dude, I forgot you're a teacher. Dude, have fun with that. That was one of the best times, college. It's just all the breaks. Fall break, spring break, Easter break, Thanksgiving break. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oof. I got some feminines in the room here who are bridging through their insecurities in order to break cycles. And that's the way that I want to say it, because it's paired with your hermit. And your hermit is your spiritual healing. Your hermit is your inner soul searching. Your hermit is your deep dive. Your hermit could be your shadow work. Like, it's your going inward. It's your learned. It's your studier. It's your student. Like, and there's just something about you confronting yourself and confronting your insecurities and your lack of self-confidence is the way that I want to say it. Which is transforming your space, and that's how I want to say it. It's transforming your space, and there's something about you having to put down your sword, you having to put down your weapon, you no longer being able to beat things into submission, especially in yourself. No longer can you stunt or stop what you have going on. There's just something here about breaking free from negative patterns. And when I'm talking about breaking free, I feel like for this feminine here in the room, it's not necessarily like unbinding yourself. No, it's just like actually moving. It's like there's this little bit of like repetition that you're breaking out of. It's this little bit of like redundancy that you're breaking out of. That's where your freedom is, because there's something about this insecurity is also an insecurity and like a resistance to change, an insecurity and like something's just not quite right is the way that I want to say it. So it's like, because you don't feel 100% steady in doing something different, it's like you choose to do the same thing even though you know how much it hurts. And I have so many 3s on the table, it's wild. But they're just commending you because there's something about transforming your fate and transforming the way that your next big thing is happening, and it's just pulling me into your do better, like your know better, do better, but it's pulling me down. It's just pulling me down into just changing up your whole style, into changing up everything you've worked for. I feel the need to tell you need patience, though. I feel the need to tell somebody in here they need patience, because what they've cultivated and what they've asked for takes just a second to come in. That's the way I want to say it. Takes just a second to come in. And there's something about quieting the mind. I'm not quite sure how this plays in yet, but there's something about quieting the mind to get this done. I don't know, there's a certain level of focus that you need to have. I know we need confidence, and I know your perspectives on things are changing. I got the Ace of Swords out here as we're talking about quieting the mind. But there's just something here. I feel like I need to shuffle these. There's just something here that it's like following your passion, but not your passion being your fiery flame this time. It's something else. Your passion's almost like your calling is the way that I want to say it. It's not that fire type of passion. It feels to me like that knowing passion, like that connected passion, like that divine passion. I don't know how to make it make sense. It's not as jittery, it's not as loud, it's not as boisterous as your fire passion. It's that quiet passion in the back that sometimes gets overlooked. Where we just talking about a different kind of energy, and the energy card flips out here. You might be an air, not air, that was weird. You might be a fire energy, because even though I got my courage card out here and they're talking about you're needing courage to do it, I feel like this is leading more to confidence, not courage. And I feel like this lion is taking me back to Leo, the lion, which is taking me back to air. What am I doing? Taking me back to fire signs. So maybe you're a fire sign, which is really interesting. But there's just something about almost like the I don't want to call it the fear, but like the hesitation maybe of leaving. I want to call it the nest, and the nest being your sanctuary, your safety, your security. Something about feeling like you're a lack of protection. You're unprotected if you leave cover. Like that's kind of what I want to say. You're unprotected if you leave cover, and I really want to tell somebody that you need to find the protection and security within yourself so that you can have stable, structured security no matter where you go, no matter in what environment you find yourself in. And there's just something about the beauty of being you. I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's just something about the beauty of being you. There's just something about being you, dude. Like, I don't know if somebody ever made you feel like you wasn't enough, or that what you were was undesirable, but I feel like that's a lie. I feel like you're redefining how you view yourself, and what you view yourself to be worthy of is almost the way I want to say it. I feel like I'm being drawn to this flower here on this card in front of me. I feel like the only thing they're pointing out is this flower, and I feel like they're alluding to spring, yeah, but they're almost like alluding to your growth. They're alluding to your like sprouting, they've planted and now you're blooming, and it's almost like we don't hide the flower when it's in bloom, and that's kind of the way that they're taking me back to you. Is like, no, we don't hide you away once you've bloomed. Absolutely not. And this is kind of what you're coming to terms with, is that you can't just hide yourself away anymore. You can't just tuck yourself in the closet, because that's not what flowers need. And this is kind of just one of those realizations where you can't be what you used to be. You have to be something different, which is wild. I feel like these sassy cards need to come out. I don't necessarily know why, but we'll find out when we shuffle them. I don't think these ones are it. Oops. No. No, that doesn't feel right either. That doesn't feel like the right card either. Maybe I should read it though. But I'll tell you what, if I get through this whole deck and they don't throw anything out, I know it's the right card. Okay, this must be the card. Don't question your gut. Don't question your gut, because they're just gonna make you look silly. Alright, so love like people aren't total assholes. Of course you've been hurt. People can be stupid, selfish, destructive fucknuts. But choosing to live life with your dukes up, waiting for the asshole and everyone to come out, insults you from the brilliance of people. You'll be a force to be reckoned with if you love people with the tenderness and ferocity of someone who's digging for gold in everyone. Boom. How you doing? I don't know. But that's how you know. Like, I feel like some people are like, oh my god, your cards fly all over the place. Like, how do you get them to do that? And I'm like, I don't. I don't do that. As you can clearly see, I can shuffle through a whole, I think that's like 100 and something cards in there. I can shuffle through 100 cards and nothing pops out once I found the right card. So if you ever wondered, if I'm ever sitting here shuffling and nothing comes out, my team's currently having a fussy fight. Oh my goodness. I'm going to read all these comments. The list is open, guys. We're doing 15.55 for reads tonight. Best part of the job. Whoop whoop. Is my mom okay? I have no idea, Miss Kim. I'm going to pray for her though. I hope she does. I hope she is okay. I could do a read for you, but I wouldn't be able to pull in your mom's energy. But I can do like a what you need to know. And I would assume, if there was something you needed to know in regards to a feminine in your life, they would say something. But I can't pull on her energy without her permission. Now, I mean, I guess if a past loved one comes in and starts talking about her, then that's completely different. But I can't go there without permission, I did it. I asked him for us to see the lawyer and draw up papers. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well, hold on. How do you feel? Like, take an assessment. Do you feel excited? Because I don't know why. This feels like excitement. I haven't read anything else, but this feels like excitement. Like, this feels like relief. This feels like challenging forward into a new era. Like, this feels, in your energy, feels like a woof. I'm going to have to add that song somewhere. I need to listen to that song. I can't. That song is in my head, and that's why I keep saying woof all the time. I'm an air sign. Oh, goodness. It was hard. Oh, I imagine. Angel Ventures, welcome in. The hard stuff is usually the most worth it. Oh, 1,000. Kalilia with the good shit. 1,000%. Alexa, will everything go good in my interview tomorrow? So, Alexa, we can pull on it. Reads are 15.55, so we can ask that question and we can funnel it that way, and that's not a problem. What is it? Michelle, is that tea? Is that tea? Does Edwin want to meet my daughter? So I can't feel into Edwin's energy. But I can do like a love relationship message for you and your energy, but I can't feel into Edwin's energy. So I don't know that I'd be able to answer that one that way. Oh, have fun, Miss Bethany. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for showing up and showing out and sharing space today. It is much appreciated, dude. You know, I received and scared. Received and scared. Received and scared. Received and... Did I miss something? Received and scared. Do you mean relieved? You change your profile picture? But that's the first thing. What's up, Angel Ventures? But that's the first thing, dude, because now you're not, like, it's the hardest thing to switch out of a couple's mind. And if you haven't done it yet, like, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Because when you're in a long-term relationship of any kind, a marriage, an engagement, just dating for several years, it doesn't matter. You function as a we. So now you have to do everything for just you in mind. You don't have to think, what does somebody else want for dinner? You don't have to think, can I go here? Can I buy this? Or does that person need money for something else? You don't have to run anything by anyone. So it's a lot different. It's a ton different to get out of the we mindset and into the you mindset is going to be wild. It's going to be wild. And part of that is cultivating your new perspective and changing your profile picture. Why it might seem super, super simple and super small is actually a really big thing, because you know that people have eyes. So when you start doing things in the public light, changing your profile picture, maybe changing your status or something like that, like, you're going to find people who's going to want to be up in your drama. And I'm going to just remind you, like people reminded me, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's nobody's business but yours. You only have to share what you want. Regardless how much they try to pry and dig, it's none of their business. So if you're not ready to talk about it, you're not ready to talk about it. You know what I mean? And talking about it doesn't mean dragging someone through the mud. You can share what you want, and you can leave out the details that you don't want to share. It's your story. So you can express it how you want. So just keep that in mind. Like, it's not gossip, it's your story. You know what I mean? Jasmine, is this one girl telling Kyle not to be with me? I don't know, Jasmine. I'm sorry. I can't pull on somebody who I don't have the permission to pull on. I can do like a love relationship message. I can do like a, is this girl in your greatest, highest good? Because it'd be working in your energy. But like, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't really pull on, her energy specifically without her permission. Yeah, I think they meant relieved too. Eric, will Jackie talk to me again? Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I can't pull on Jackie. I can do a love relationship, but I can't tell you what she's gonna do with her free will. It's not good energetic ethics. But I can do like what's your relationship look like? What's incoming for you? And we can definitely go from there, because I'm gonna be honest, like, even if she calls you tomorrow, it's still your choice to make, and it's still your stuff to do. So, kind of get you there to where pulling in someone's energy doesn't always help you, Your advice is always amazing. Aw, pizza, thanks. We try to just, I'm gonna be honest, we try to talk to everybody like they're friends, like they're our homies, you know what I mean? So, we're gonna give the advice that we want, and if we're in channel, then it might not be the advice that we want, we'll be honest. There are some times when, and Keys knows this, when we're in channel, and we get off lives, and I'm like, I cannot believe shit, and I cannot believe what I just said, like, I'm like, if it was anybody else, I would have said this, but Spirit's like, no, do this instead. So, But list is open, guys. I think we're gonna do last call. So if you guys would like to get on the list, it's 1555, and we got Cash App and we got Venmo. No, I needed to hear that. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much, Miss Cindy. Yeah, no, dude, like, I mean, you already know, like, Pizza, you've been here for a minute. By the way, I have this feeling, I need to ask you, but you don't have to answer it, obviously. How's your kid? How's your kid been? And how's your husband? Or how's the boyfriend? Husband? Fiance? How's the man in your life and how's the kid in your life? Specifically with how they pair together. Like how they relate to each other. I know that's a weird question and you definitely don't have to answer it. So do not feel any pressure. But I don't know why. Like, I saw your like comments like 3 or 4 times now and that has been in my head. So I'm just going to say it so they leave me alone. That's the way I'm going to say it. That's the way I'm going to say it. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. No, you're okay. You're okay. Like, that's literally how it happened, so you're okay. You're okay. I think they were just like... Yeah. Because... that was kind of the vibe that your gentleman was kind of giving. Was like, I feel like it was kind of that like gonna be smoothed out. Like that's the way that I wanna say it. Like gonna be smoothed out. Like I feel like it's a little bit on the rockiness right now, you know. But there's he's kind of calling it a common ground, and it's making me feel like a common understanding or a common agreement or something like that. That's kind of gonna be wedged between them is the way that I want to say it. Like right now, I want to say they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Like somebody thinks something's an issue, somebody might not think it's that big of an issue, and then they're butting heads. There's just a little bit of conflict. It's nothing like super, super serious. It doesn't strike me as like earth-shattering, but it does strike me as something that like maybe at the child's age, maybe it's like more important than at the adult age, and maybe that's part of the like bicker batter. Bicker batter. Bicker batter. Bicker batter. I feel like you got an old guy here. Bicker batter. Because the second I go to look and I'm hearing bicker batter and I'm like, what? And I turn to like almost face him and I'm like, bicker batter? And he's like, yeah, you know what I meant. Like, you know what I meant. You know, tussle. Like, that's what I'm like, he's just giving really old words. like bicker batter? That's wild. But he's just making me feel like it's something like... It makes me feel like it's not something that's uncommon. Like, he's kind of making me feel like, don't worry, it's your typical children's struggle. Like, it's your typical, like, parent-child struggle. But, I feel like it feels as though it irritates your husband. Like, it really does. It feels like it irritates your husband. Like, I feel like the man's the more agitated. And I know that the child might seem more frustrated, but I think on the inside, the older masculine is more actually irritated. Where the child is frustrated, gets frustrated, and then it's like, and goes about it. It's like, it almost makes me feel like the masculine's more sitting with the frustration and sitting with the irritation more. But there's something about having to be talked out or talking out. 9:49 on the clock. Something about being talked out. But whoever this older gentleman is making me feel as though it's nothing you need to really be overly worried about. It's common. It's making me feel like it's common. You know what I mean? Like, you know. I'm sorry. Let me scroll back up here. She's upset. He's upset he games too much, actually. I think so. They both communicate so clearly. I'm so proud of her honesty. Thank you so much. LOL. Inserting bigger batter into my daily vocabulary. Dude, I have no idea, but it took me the second it said it, I was like, what? And then it, like, he said it again, and I'm like, bigger batter. And I'm like, what? And then I, like, turned to look at him, and he's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just started saying a bunch of, like, really old words, and I'm like, what is going on? That's how you use to bake an anger cake. That shouldn't be funny. That shouldn't be funny. Stop. It shouldn't be funny, but it's really funny. Is it Gramps again? He has the funniest old phrases. Yeah, I think so. He's doing like a thumbs up, and then it like I don't want to say it turns into like stroking his hair. I don't know but it starts as a thumbs up, and then it like does like the thumbs up dissolves into something. Whether he throws thumbs up and does a gun, or if he like I don't know. It's just it starts as like a when I asked if it was Gramps, it started with like this like thumbs up, and then like he changed it and like dissipated into either a thumbs up and like ooh into the hair, or like I don't know. It's just something like it's just something like funny that he's trying to do. That's the Fonz move. Dude, I have like no idea. Like like couldn't tell you. But that's wild. That's wild. Well, I'm glad, because he just wanted to reaffirm the fact that he's watching it and he's like, it's gonna be fine. Like he's like, it's gonna be fine. Like he's like there. It's like this. He's not saying this, but he's not saying this phrase, but it gives me the feeling of like young whippersnappers, like you know, like crazy. But. Well, if nobody needs anything... Oh my god, guys, thank you so much for 9.2k likes. Like, thank you so much. If nobody needs anything and nobody wants a read, then I'll pop off here, I guess. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll be solo tomorrow. We're gonna shoot for like 11:30 because I don't know. I've been wanting to start earlier, but we'll see. You know, so we'll shoot for like 11:30 and we'll see what happens. It'll be Friday, so enjoy your Friday. Tomorrow, like, go do big fun things. Oh yeah, dude, no, so I'm telling you, he's funny. Like, there's like a list of people's past loved ones and dead people that I would love to be friends with. Like, wholeheartedly, and your grandpa is one of them. Like, your grandpa's one of them. Like 1,000% Grandpa's one of them, because he's just that person. Like, I just want to grab a PB&J sandwich. Like, this is the vibe that I get from him. I want to walk barefoot on an old wooden porch. I want to grab a PB&J sandwich and like either a glass of like lemonade or a glass of milk, but I really want to say lemonade or iced tea, and I want to just plop down next to him and just eat my sandwich, sip my tea, and just listen. Like, he is literally one of those people that I feel like you don't need to spark conversation. Like, you just need to shut up. Like, you know, like, I just feel like he's one of those people that he'll give you the conversation. Like, you don't need to do nothing. Nope. Pause. You don't need to say a word. Gramps has got it. And you can just sit there having really good conversations. But, like, I don't know. I think about that all the time, though. But he's definitely one of them. And I have a couple people that I've read for whose people I'm like, man, dude, if you were alive right now and I knew you, we'd get along. You know what I mean? Yes, he was so much a Leo. Everyone wanted to hear what he had to say. I just found out, oh, well, yeah. But that's the truth. Like, that's the truth. That's fantastic. That's so fantastic. That's so fantastic. That's so fantastic. That's like, wait, I don't know. There's just something about your grandpa that makes me laugh. Like, every time. He doesn't have the same thing. Like, he just has to, like, I think he just had this face that he would make. Like, I don't want to say it was a wink. It was like a smirk. Like, it was like a wink smirk. I don't know how to make that make sense. But it's like, I feel like he would do it too. Like, when you were getting yelled at. Was he like somebody that, like, I feel that the way you do, let's sit down and have a PB&J. Okay, so me and Keys are gonna do a podcast, and we're gonna try to do it like once a week, maybe once a week, once every other week, where it's like an hour, and we just chit chat. And we're gonna try to like air it or post it, and you're not paying for anything. Like, it's just good conversation. And it's good spiritual conversations. It's good, like ability conversations. It's good, like food for thought conversations. So we're attempting to put that together, but that's just going to take a second because we have so much on the plate already, but we're trying our hardest because so many people have like asked for it and been like, we should do this. Like, so we're trying to carve out like a separate space so that you can like just like listen, and we're gonna have video portion of it so that we can also post it to YouTube, and you can watch it if you want, and you can also just do audio if you're somewhere where you can't watch. So we were gonna try to do that. So that's still in the works. We're still working all that out. But yeah. But no, dude, he like your grandpa, like before we head out of here, like your grandpa for sure. He's got like a wink smirk. And I know you know what you're talking about because I can see him doing it. And it makes me feel like if grandma was ever yelling at you, or mom was ever yelling at you, and like maybe he caused it, or like was in it somehow, but you're the one who got yelled at. Like, it kind of like makes me feel like maybe he was in on it a little bit. Like, you guys were getting rowdy, you guys were doing something, and then like he got yelled at, and he was just like, and he like, until she turned around, and then he was like wink smirking at you, or like if you really got came down on, he would give you like a wink smirk to let you know that don't take it too seriously. Like, it's like, there's just something about like, I feel like he shot the wink smirk behind somebody else's back, right? But then when they turned around, he was like completely normal, but then like they'd spin around again, he'd be like it was just like, I don't know, but it just gives me like that like on your side vibe, like to where it was like I don't know, like I want to say he would do it on the sly. Like, it was part of it was like a don't take things too seriously, like got you. But part of it was like a I'm on your side kind of a thing, like good looking out. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Like, part of it was like a good looking out. Like, so it's just really interesting. But he's a character. So, and he comes up so strong, dude. Like, his energy is so strong. And not a lot of people are that way. And I feel like that's just part of the way he lives. And did live. There's just something about the joy frequency for him, and the ow. Ow. He's got old hands. Like, that's the only thing I know to say. Like, he's got old hands, like arthritis or something. But ow. That really hurt my thumb. But there's just something about like the way he lived and the frequency that he lived in. And he still has like a good vibe on the other side, where some people might be weighed down by things they either did in life or their constructs or stuff like that. Like, I don't get too much of that for him. Like, when he chooses to show up, I feel like he shows up very crisp, and I feel like he shows up very clear. Where some people are kind of muddled, and some people are kind of standing really, really far away. Like, he gets so close sometimes to where I'm like, I need to take a step back because like I can feel your ailments. Like, kind of a thing, when he's not trying to get them across. But yeah, he's definitely like a toucher, like, but not in a creepy way. Like, I made that sound creepy, but like, he's like a shoulder toucher. So I just feel like he like sits 9:59 o'clock. I feel like he like comes up and he's just like, hi, like, like with two hands, like on the shoulders. But He's got good energy, so if you ever worried if he wasn't in a good place or if he was struggling on the other side, that's not the case. It does not feel that way. My back's getting cold. It does not feel that way in any way, shape, or form. And I really do feel like pizza for you, dude. I really do feel like he's your go-to. So I don't know if you've asked him to be. Oh my back! God, my back is so cold. I don't know if you've. So cold. I don't know if you've asked him to be your go-to. Or he's just adopted that. He's just adopting that role himself. I'm sorry, he's correcting me. He's just adopting that role himself. So should you need or want anything, like, he got you. Like, should you be asking for something, protection, strength, help, assistance, guidance, he would love to be your go-to. He's telling you to work him hard. Like, he's like almost doing it in like a joking way. Like, work me hard, girl. Like, he's ready to be of service, but to you. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, he loves his family, but like, he's ready to be of service to you. Like, he's like your personal dead cheerleader. Like, and sorry, I said dead, and his face was like, Jesus. But like, it's one of the, like, I shocked him when I said the word dead. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things that, like, he's ready to grab the pom-poms for you. So don't be afraid to use him. And even if you don't want anything from him, don't be afraid to talk to him. And it can be mentally too. Because it's all energy, especially where he's at on that side, it's all energy, so that energy is going to find him regardless. As long as you put the intention behind it that, like, I'm talking to Gramps, like, he gonna hear it. Like, I feel like a lot of people have a misconception, but everything's energy, and so are your thoughts, and should you put the intention behind it, I'm talking to Gramps, that's exactly what you're doing. So, just keep that in mind. 10:01 on the clock. So I think he wants you. He wants a couple things. Like, he wants you to lend him an ear. But then it's like, because I feel like there's something that he's gonna send your way in a good way. But then it's like he's reminding you that, like, you have somebody if you want something done. Like, if you need strength, if you need courage, if you need something, like, he gonna help you. If you need opportunities put in place, if you need, things, structured, if you like, he wants to energetically help you, and he's telling you to put him to work. Like, he's part of your ancestry that is like, let's go. Excuse me. So, just keep that in mind. He's there for you, dude. You know what I mean? Just keep that in mind. What did I say? Oh my god, I cannot. Can you be on? Can you be on what? I'll be a loyal listener for sure. For sure. LMAO, he was diabetic and used to help sneak Christmas cookies. He would rest his hands on my knees or hold my hand. He was the sweetest. I've asked a million times. I talk to him often. He's my hero. Oh my goodness. I didn't know we can do this. I want to verify my message with my GG. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm a medium. I talk to dead people. I let it go how it comes in. So, oh, the podcast. I have no idea how we're going to do that, Miss Tanya. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to record it, let alone how do we get people on it. Like, we are for sure going to do like a message section. Oh my god, anytime, dude. Pizza. I do this for real. But like, I do this all the time for you. Like, I love it. Like, Sammy, you had the best energy, dude. But, we are going to do like a comment section, like a question, like send in your questions, send in your emails, and we'll read them on the podcast, and we'll answer them at the end of every podcast for like 15 minutes or something like that. We'll pick one or two questions and we'll go through them. And if we have a lot of stuff, we're going to like go through them all, and we can put a whole podcast together of answering questions if we have that many of them. You know what I mean? Like, because some people just have really general questions and they just get scared to ask them. So like, or they get nervous that it's a stupid question or something like that. So sometimes putting it in email, you know, and maybe just having a first name and then you hearing your question, like people are like, oh my God, you know, or like topics. Yes, keys, exactly. Requesting topics, like we're doing all that too. And like I already told you guys can always do that for videos on my page, and I know Keys always welcomes it. Like we have email, you can message us on TikTok or something like that, like Instagram, like, and if you have a topic you want covered, even for the Tree of Life, like we'll do it. Like we don't mind doing it. We do it for the community, so it's gonna be one of those things, you know what I mean? So we're gonna do that as like another give back, but we're only gonna do it maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. We'll kind of see, because we don't want to overwhelm. We don't want to do that too much because everything else is growing and building. We want to give space for other things too, but we would love to do it because you see both of us get together on lives. I mean, there's so much crazy stuff. So maybe once a week, maybe every Sunday or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We might record it earlier, but like maybe we'll post them every Sunday or something. I don't know. Sunday or Monday maybe. We'll see what's going on. It's going to be a day that we don't post something else. So we'll have to figure it out because we do Monday posts. So, but yeah, dude, we got big stuff's coming. We got big stuff's coming. And I'm come summertime, I will be opening energy stuff. I just need to like get shit together. I need to get shit together. So energy stuff will be opening sometime this summer. Energy classes, energy sessions, energy courses, stuff like that. I'm not sure if I want to teach energy or if I just want to do energy yet. I want to do both, but we're figuring out logistics. So just know there's that coming, and there's more of that stuff coming. I would love to plan some mediumship walkthroughs. So coming this summer in better weather as well. So we might be doing some like traveling where me and Keys and maybe Misrooted Intentions might be getting together for a weekend, and we might be doing, you know, some mediumship walkthroughs where we walk through some haunted buildings and we talk to some past people and some residents and stuff like that. We might try to do some of that. I've done that, I've done it with other people who are mediums, and Miss Keys is a great one, so you might see us on live doing mediumship walkthroughs and stuff like that. We might plan like things where you guys can come with us on trips eventually and stuff like that. But yeah, we're putting stuff together. We're putting stuff together because yeah, people like to see behind the veil. You know what I mean? And people love stories. So sometimes that's what's up. That's what's up. I will travel. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. It might be this summer. It might not. It depends on how crazy and how fast Aries season blows dry and how fast everything gets going. But like, we're trying to put stuff together. So, you know, podcasts, energy classes, other classes, like still keeping all the stuff we have on there now. You know what I mean? And then maybe doing some on-site mediumship stuff as like walkthroughs and stuff like that. So, and then hopefully we'll be able to kind of, I want to pick places that aren't necessarily well known, but we can research the history, because I would love to, like, at the end, research the history and see if anything that we have said has either been picked up before by other people who have traveled to those locations, or is embedded in the history in some way, shape, or form. That would be awesome. I did something similar with another medium a couple years ago, where we went to Indiana and we went to several places in Ohio, including Mansfield State Prison for the whole night, and we did all this stuff, and it was really cool because at the end we had like a historian with us, which we couldn't do that in every location, but some locations had a historian on site because they were so large. And so we would go through and we're picking up on this. There was a fight down here. There was something with tables. This isn't right. This layout isn't right. And like, they would be like, oh yeah, no, this actually used to be over here and this whole wall used to, and we're like, oh, and like, so it was cool to get that back and forth. and we had it on live. I think we had it on Facebook Live at the time, so we did that for funsies. Well, she didn't, but I did it for funsies. So we might do something similar, not the same thing, but we might do something similar. And I would love to like take you guys along with us and, have a couple live things so you guys can like get in on it when we're doing it, but then also have like private venue stuff to where you can like book a weekend, a couple months in advance, and then we can all do it together kind of thing. And then you can be right in the action. You can have recorders, you can have a flashlight, you can, you know what I mean? Like you can have all these stuff so that you can do like a experience with us, you know what I mean? So I think that would be kind of cool. 10 on the clock. So just all the fun stuff, I requested we start drawing the divorce papers after the read this AM. What? That's wild. That's wild. Dude, like, I'm proud of you. If that's what you decided, I am proud of you. Because that means you made a decision and you followed it up with action. So regardless of what the decision was, the fact that you followed it up with action is fantastic. It's been shut down forever. I played volleyball at the gym that still what? Hold on, Keys. Hold on. What did I miss? Oh, there's a place here. Mantento Psychiatric Hospital. Okay, dude, I visited, it wasn't called a psych hospital, but it was something else. But it was pretty much that, they had, not okay people in it. But it was in Indiana. I have to look it up. Reformatory, I think it was called a Reformatory. It just got aired on, a TV show, because Sarah had just sent it to me. Kindred Spirits. We walked through that building that was something reformatory. We did a whole walk through there, and we slept overnight there. There was full-on ghost apparitions that people were seeing in the upstairs, full-fledged, matron woman who was, doing bed checks for everybody. It was wild. Rooted was with me. We did that together. Rooted was with me. It was wild. And oh my God, my sleeping bag was breathing. It was insane. That was a super active location. There was wings all over the place. There was chapels at the end. It was men's and women's floors. It was wild. It was crazy. There was a basement. I got my butt pinched. It was not okay. There was a lot going on in that building. There was a lot going on in that building. Oh my goodness. It's been shut down forever. I played volleyball in the gym. Of course you did. We explored afterwards, but holy... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I6? I6 is in my town. Old Illinois soldiers and sailors' homes. Kids who were orphaned lived here. Oh my goodness. Well, don't tell me any information. They lived in Manteno. They still had tubs and lids. They'd put people in the beds. Yeah. See, those are cool places that, we could look at, because you're gonna have your residual energy. You're gonna have the things that play on a loop. Welcome in, JB89. You're gonna have your things that play on a loop that are just following a pattern. And it's gonna go the same way as the day progresses. It's going to follow the same pattern, and then you're going to have your intellectual things that are actually going to communicate, and it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. They were where they would put patients to go acting up in cages. Yeah, but exactly. Recreational. Yeah, exactly. The echo consciousness from trauma. Yeah, sometimes. Especially in older buildings, because there's so much energy floating around, and stuff like that. It's like an imprint of energy. Yeah, like an imprint. It's like an imprint of energy. Because everything's been absorbed, and especially in older places, a lot of things were made out of wood, and wood is a very porous thing, so it absorbs energy very easily. So if they have old wooden chairs, old tables, old whatever, bed frames that are wood or something, if the rooms are wood with wood floors and stuff, you'll be surprised at how much gets absorbed there. It's wild. But the thing is, it's going through and ghost hunting is different than doing a mediumship walkthrough. Like, we're not there to irritate anything. Absolutely not. We're not there to frustrate anything. Absolutely not. We're not there to ask something or demand something of something. No. We're simply there to say, you want to share your story? We're willing to talk to you. You know? So it is definitely wild. Because you meet things that are super friendly, and then you meet things that are not friendly at all. But obviously, like, we would have to have a protocol because you're dealing with energy, you know what I mean? So, because we're going in blind, because I don't do research on anything before we go. I don't look anything up before we go. So I'm going in as blind as everybody else. So when we do it, we are having a round circle before we go. Before we enter in, we're getting ground rules, what you can and cannot do. You know what I mean? And then, like, if you feel sick or if you whatever, we're doing all that so that everybody is energetically safe. You know what I mean? But yeah, for sure, 1,000%. It's on the list. You think the ghosts we pass are like soul retrievals? What? You think the ghosts we pass are like soul retrievals? No picking things up that you find. Pick things up at your own risk. Pick things up at your own risk. I view soul retrieval differently, and I don't think it's actually retrieving one's soul. I'm going to be honest. I view it a little differently. I view it like interstellar, intergalactic, interdimensional, maybe that's the word, interdimensional, kind of like shadow work almost. That's kind of how I view soul retrieval, especially if something's constructively stuck in a different lifetime or something like that. I view that a little bit different, and I'm a little bit more of a stickler on soul retrieval, because I don't really think that anybody's soul can be like split or fractured. Like it's I don't know. There's a lot that goes into that for me with that label of soul retrieval, because I feel like that fits a very strong belief that I know a lot of shamanistic people will have that type of a philosophy. And at some point, I'm like, yeah. And then at some point, it starts to kind of fizzle for me. And I'm like, but it doesn't make all the sense sometimes. So at that point, it would be a long story for me to try to explain how my belief on that one. But I look at it a little bit differently. I'm going to be honest. A lot of things that are stuck, they're not actually stuck. It's usually like that's either where they feel they're most at home because they've lived a large part of their life there, or it's a mental construct that they're stuck. Like I had one past gentleman that was actually at the Ohio Reformatory, whatever that is, the prison, Mansfield, the old prison Mansfield, because we did an overnight there, and there was a gentleman who was like severely religious, but he wasn't all right in his mind. Like his mind had deteriorated to a certain point. So he was kind of not all there. And a lot of the stuckness was like a mental construct because he was afraid to leave because he didn't want to admit that he was dead. Like he didn't want to like fully admit that he had passed on. So he just wasn't willing to go anywhere else. Because he was so religious, he thought because he was in jail and he had killed somebody, because that's why he was there, so he claims, we didn't look up his name, but he had killed somebody, and he thought that murder was a sin in his construct. So he feared going anywhere else because he feared going to hell. So then we actually sat there with him for like, 15, 20 minutes until he went completely loony on us. And we were kind of talking to him about like, well, okay, we'll use your construct almost against you a little bit, because he was talking about the Bible and he was quoting the Bible, and we were like, well, ask, and you shall be forgiven. Have you asked for forgiveness? Like blah 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 blah, like, kind of like releasing you of your sins, kind of thing. And it was just like one of those like are remorseful and stuff like that, and And then he started getting like super, super agitated, and you could tell that you were at a point where the energy was just like bridging his uncomfortability zone and his own construct of belief. And then he just started going super crazy, and he started getting super agitated and irritated, and he started acting a fool. So we kind of had to just be like, okay, well, then nice talking to you, and kind of usher and walk away from him for a second. But so sometimes it's not that they're actually stuck in a location; it's just that their mental construct keeps them stuck. You know what I mean? I'm digging outside views, or I wouldn't have asked. Yeah, no, and it's wild too. It really is. You know what I mean? I've gotten a lot of different insights. You know, I didn't really believe in the beginning that you could really help things. Like, I always viewed it as like, how can I help you? Like, you're like on the other side. Aren't you supposed to like, I don't know everything? Like, aren't you supposed to like be ushered off? But I guess there are some people that either they pass really quickly and they don't know what happened and there's confusion. So there's a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety, and they kind of get, I don't want to say a little bit of loss, but they get kind of turned around. I know people who have denied transitioners, like Grimm, like Azrael, like Anubis, like they have denied their help at the moment of transition. And I've gotten a lot of different reasons. Like you remember that one minor keys that we had, and he denied transition originally because his son was with him when he passed and he couldn't find his son. So he didn't want to leave the site at which he passed until he could locate his son. And we had to tell him that his son already transitioned. So like he was waiting for nobody because they already like, so it was crazy. So sometimes that happens. Like they deny collection is the way that I say it. I don't know the correct words. You know what I mean? But they like almost deny being collected. We ended up getting him okay. Like he wanted to at that point because he had been there for, I don't know, 90 years, something like that. He had been there for a while. 60 years, 80 years, I don't know. He had been there for a while. So we've had that happen. But I know growing up, I didn't understand it. I was like, what do you mean? Because it always confused me because I would get a lot of things coming and they wouldn't really say anything. They would just say, help. Help, help, help. Like, that's all they wanted was help. I was like, what? And it wasn't until I, like, actually helped the first one and I was like, oh, that they actually, like, not disappeared, like, poof, the energy was gone, but they, like, transitioned. They went to wherever they, I don't know. I don't necessarily know what's past transition because I haven't transitioned, like, you know what I mean? But, it's definitely interesting. So, not everybody wants help, but, sometimes they just want help communicating with a certain person. So that I have had that where it's like, hey, tell this person this for me. Like, I've had that before, but sometimes it's just that they're, you know, I don't know. They just kind of, you know what I mean? They just need assistance because they get turned around. And I don't know, like, this is what I don't know, and I guess I could ask. I've never asked, so I guess I could call my transitioners in and ask. But I don't know if once they're denied, like, if they're denied, but once they turn away, I don't know if they can call them back. I would like to think that they do. I would like to think that they have the ability to call them back, be like, help, you know, SOS, like, I changed my mind, but I don't know. I've never asked that question, but now I want to call in some people and I want to ask that question. Because sometimes that's really all the help they need. Sometimes, like, that's really, like, sometimes that's all I've had to do. Like, call in my transitioner and be like, you missed one, he wants to go with you. And then you get, like, a thanks, and it gets, like, really far away. It's like you're going into a tunnel. Thanks, and they're like, thank you, and they're getting, like, super far away, and then they just, like, pop, poof, like, they just fizzle, you know what I mean? And they leave together. But it does happen, like, Yeah. So like I've never asked that question, but that does make me wonder, and I'm gonna have to ask some of my transitioners that question because now I'm just curious, because I never really thought about it until this moment. But so maybe maybe when they go, oh no, I don't want to go. Like maybe they're like okay, and they like leave, and then they maybe then need help calling back a transition. I have no idea, but it happens. Murmur. Yeah, sometimes it's like it just feels like it's getting further. Like it doesn't even feel like it sounds like it's getting further from you. It's like, thank you so much. Like it just feels like it's getting like somebody's in a car and they're driving in like a tunnel and they're just like, thank you, and like it's like really far away. And the image will get smaller as if someone's walking away. Like I had one transitioner like scoop up a kid, like physically scoop up like a little 20s little boy in like a hat and like slacks, like scoop him up, like whoop, whoop, and then like carried him. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think half of it was possible until I experienced it. I'm gonna be real honest. I grew up with, you go to heaven or you go to hell, and when you get there, because there's a big part of spirituality where people are like, yeah, your dead relatives, they know everything, and they're like, oh, okay. And then people will ask like, oh, like, what's gonna happen to this, and I meet so many dead people who are like, I don't fucking know. Like I meet so many realistically dead people that are like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, they're like straight up, they're like, what? I can't tell you that. How am I supposed to know that? They're like, I barely know how to talk to you. I'm new. I've only been dead for 3 years. I'm still figuring out how to just say hello to people. And you want me to tell you the future? Like, it's like, so sometimes it's kind of funny. Some of the people that I meet, they're like, no, wrong question. Ask your mother. Like literally, they'll still have their personality and they'll be like, talk to that person. Yeah, so it does happen. It does happen. But, and I got the question before, like, can you talk to people who have been cremated? I have talked to people who have been cremated. It has happened. Although I will definitely tell you the energy dealing with them does seem different. I'm not sure if it's because they're cremated or just who they are as a person. But there is something subtly different in the energies. But, and you can call people in. I just don't really like to do it. I don't know why. I just like to let source, spirit guides, whatever lead. So I don't like to do a lot of calling in unless I personally know that person. So that's why like a lot of the services for mediumship on the website are like open-ended. And it's because I truly believe that if somebody signs up, they're going to bring forward who you need to hear from and not who you want to hear from, kind of a thing. So, Do you think it bothers them to call them in? No, I don't. I don't. Now, I would say that's how, it depends on how many times you use it. Because I know people who call on their, like, dead people, like, every day. Like every day. And while they don't mind, they're, like, looking for this big grand message, and their people are like, we just talked for the last 14 days. I have nothing to say. Like, it's, like, almost like this, like, I don't know what you're wanting from me, I have nothing to say. So, I think sometimes we can rely on things outside of us too much, and that includes our family, and that includes our past loved ones. But no, I've only ever really gotten one or two people that have been really angry with being bothered, and it's not because you were bothering them, it's just because they're just as angry when they're dead as they were when they were alive. Like, that's the way that I'm saying. Like, they're just the same personality sometimes. Like, so if you didn't have a good relationship with, like I'll give you an example. I talked to someone's father at one point, and they did not have a good relationship with their father, and they were hoping that when he died that they would get an apology. Well, he was the same as when he was alive, so that apology wasn't coming. Like, it just wasn't coming. It just wasn't coming. Sorry, something was, like, way too close. It just wasn't coming. So, I kind of had to be the bearer of bad news, you know what I mean? And so did my friend at the time who was a medium. Like, she had to be the bearer of bad news and be like, you're not going to get your apology. I hate to tell you, you're not going to get your apology because they're the same person they were because they just died 2 months ago. You know, like, nothing's changed. They think there's nothing wrong. Like, so sometimes, you know what I mean? My grandma just passed and I'm worried about how my energy is affecting her. I was wondering about how they change when they transition or if it's affecting her at all. Did she have like... I just want to figure out if this is her or not. So, did she have like trouble breathing? Like almost like labored breathing, maybe a little bit of congestion in the chest. Like I feel like I have half a lung, and I just feel like if I breathe too deeply, I'm gonna cough, like hack, almost in a cough. And almost like pressure on the chest, like almost like elephant sitting on my chest, kind of a pressure, and like heart ache, like heart ache. I don't know if she was on oxygen, or if she's just paralleling back to not being able to breathe the best. But if she wasn't on oxygen, it makes me feel like she would have loved to have some, because sometimes it was just really hard. Were you very close with her? Were you very close with her? Because I'm seeing like... Did she whistle? That was weird. There was like a weird whistle sound, but it wasn't like a tune. It's very interesting. I don't know if it was to get attention. Ooh, I feel like she just touched my hand. I don't know if it was to get attention of something or what, but it was just like a weird wispy whistle. I don't know how to make that make sense. But I'm seeing like little kids, like she's showing me little children, which makes me feel as though she may have been around. It just makes me feel like she's kind of reminiscing on kind of watching everybody grow up. Did she wear a certain kind of like slipper or like sock? Because I'm just seeing like some kind of feet that have like some kind of sock or slipper on them. I don't know why that's important, if that's important at all or not, but I'm kind of seeing like feet up. Like, I don't want to say recliner, but there's just something like feet up, and I can see like socks or slippers. I don't know. I don't think that you bother her. Not in the slightest. It's making me feel like there's something about whatever you're doing that is amplifying energy. I don't want to say you're giving your energy away because that sounds bad, but there's some sort of transaction of energy that occurs with whatever honoring, and I want to say honoring, and I don't know why I want to say honoring, but whatever honoring you're doing, there's some sort of transfer of energy, and I'm getting goosebumps. There's some sort of transfer, there's some sort of transfer of energy that's making it feel as though it's almost making things easier. And when I say easier, I just think that there's more available to her for use, is the way that I want to say it. She's talking about lightening her soul. I don't know how to make that make sense. I've never heard that before. Excuse me. Transmutation. Something about lightening her soul. I am so cold right now. Something about lightening her soul. I don't know her belief system. I would love to know her belief system and what she believes. But I feel like it's really paired with whatever belief system she has going on, because she's talking about like lightening the soul in order to lift up the soul. Like, that's the way she's saying it. Lightening the soul in order to lift up the soul, which is very interesting, and I've not heard anybody ever talk about it. Not like that. Something about some kind of energetic elevation. So there's something that you're doing that is giving her access to energy at a different type of a rate, at a different type of whatever, and it's like helping to elevate, which is so interesting. So I'm so curious as to what kind of construct that she functions in. She's talking about like, that's funny that the song is coming home, because that's exactly what she was just saying. Like, but she's saying back, like she came from there, which is so weird. Like, it's not weird. I don't mean to be rude. That's not what I mean. Don't be offended. Okay. So it's like she's saying like back home, like back to my home, back to the home. Something about like being ascended to be brought back home. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Like, almost like her soul already has a place, which is so interesting. Which is so interesting the way that she's saying it. I've not had anybody really talk about it like this before, so it's striking me as wow. Do you put do you put out like water or like drink? Do you put out like, I don't want to call them offerings. I don't want to call them offerings, but like, do you put out like, my back's getting cold. I'm just seeing like tiny, I don't know, like bowls. Like, there's some kind of like, oh my God, I'm getting so cold again. I'm gonna be honest. This makes me like, she brings me back, and it's taking me real close to home with my birth guide. I'm gonna be real honest. It takes me right back to my birth guide. I'm gonna cry. There's just something about these little bowls, these little offering, the beverages, drinks. I don't know what I want to call them. Like, but she's like she's very pleased, like very honored, very pleased. There's something about respect. That is shown by doing it, and I think that's helping her more than anything. There's something about this offering of beverage, of drink, of elements, like, that's the way I want to say it, like offering of elements to assist, which seems to be very beneficial for her. And it's really dude, it feels so old. Like, and I don't mean old as in like, she's saying original. She's saying the word original. It just like, God, it just feels so sacred, but it feels sacred on like a different level. It's not like Catholic sacred. It's not like, it's striking me very old world. When I say old world, I mean like, like original energy. I don't know how to make it make sense, but my like birth guide's looking at me like, you know what to say, but I don't want to say it on live. Like almost kind of like giving me like medicine woman vibes. It's giving like shamanic healing vibes. It's giving me like honoring your ancestors vibes. But like from a very grounded place of not like going through the motions, like doing it with proper energy behind it. And did she used to play with your hair? Did she used to play with your hair? Like I almost said weave your hair, but like, I don't want to say braid, but like, did she ever just play with your hair? Maybe brush your hair? Or like, I just feel like as I'm talking, she's like touching my hair, but not in like an interested way. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like a thank you. I don't know how to make this make sense. But, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to. This is gonna sound so weird. But I don't want to say that she's honoring me by like doing my hair. But that's the way that I want to say it. Like she started touching my hair. Like she was like, I don't know how to make that make sense. Where I'm just gonna let that go. But like, I don't know. It's just I feel like she's showing me all these little kids. Like I don't know. She's just showing me these little kids. Like I'm talking about like 5, 8, like just these little kids. But yeah, so to answer your question, yes, for her specifically, it is helping her in elevating her soul, is the way that she's saying it, is like elevating her back to her home, or back to home, back with home. There's she's saying it in a weird way, but like back where she come from. Like I don't know. Oh God. I want to say so much, but I don't want to say it on live. I'm so conscious of the words that I use on live. I want to say it my way, but I don't want to say it on live that way. But yeah. So yes, I'm gonna read the comments though. But yes, so what you're doing is helping her, in a big way, but it's helping her because of a lot of different things. Because it's not just because you're going through emotions. It's like there's something about the energy that you put behind it, and the sacredness that you hold it to is the reason that it helps. And because she pulls, like, it makes me feel like she pulls from more than one thing. And it's so funny because it like, I'm not asking her age or anything like that, but it makes me feel like she grew up one foot in one world and one foot in another world. And the reason I say that is in like, if you were to talk to me, like I grew up Roman Catholic, so I will have one foot in Roman Catholicism in some way, shape, or form, and I will tie that in some way, shape, or form. But I also have like what my soul knows very well, which is anything but that. So it's like one foot in one world, one foot in another, and she gives me those vibes of being like very learned in maybe scripture, or very like, I don't want to say Christ-like, but like very like structured, maybe like Christianity or baptism, or like there's just something that feels very systematic. And then there's something that feels very nature, that feels very elemental, that feels very old. And it just feels like one foot in one thing, one foot in another thing. And it's funny because it's like, it's almost like where she's at right now, it makes me feel like she's leaning more old world than she is structured like Catholic, or structured Christian, or structured Christianity. Like, it's so interesting because I feel like her soul pulls her to old world. Excuse me, but it's like, I don't know. It's just very interesting. She would be somebody that I would love to sit down with and chit chat. Like, she just makes me feel like she has an interesting view on things, is the way that I want to say it. Like, an interesting view on things. But, yes. So I feel like right now, there's something about her soul that is calling her towards old world things. And it's not that she's abandoning her foothold in whatever structured system she had. That's not it. But there's something about this tie to something old and something deeply rooted in earth and the beings and the elements. And there's just a lot of ness going on that resonates so much with me. But like, and it just feels like she's kind of teetering, but like her core is pulling her to the older side of things after she passed versus the structured, which is so interesting to witness because I don't get many that are multifaceted, maybe, or that have extenuating beliefs to where you believe one thing, but that works too, you know what I mean? Who at least openly share it, so that's very interesting. But it makes me feel like whatever the old world thing is, whatever the older of the two thing is, makes me feel like that's calling to her more right now. And I don't know if it's just because that's what you're offering, that's what you're doing maybe, and so she's taking what's available. I'm not really sure, but there's just something about honoring some part over here that is going, it's like tying together with like this lifting up of something to come back home, which is interesting. Like, I don't know how to make that make sense, but whatever you're doing is working, and she enjoys the little offerings, the little bottles, the little drinks, the little bowls, or whatever you are showing honor and offering, she's okay with it. So just keep doing what you're doing. That's what I want to say. I know, I'm sorry, that was so long-winded, but like, yes to all of it. Yes to all of it. Did she have like a, I don't want to call it a jacket, but I don't want to call it a poncho, like a shawl maybe? Did she like wear, or she just wrap herself in a blanket? Like, I don't know. She just has something over her shoulders. And I didn't notice it when she was first standing here. I didn't notice it at all when she was first standing here, but then when she was going to leave, it's like I saw her like I don't know, like shoving something up on like her shoulders. It makes me feel like she's just holding it, like if you were to just like have two fabrics and just be like this is the like, and then she just is like leaving, like, I don't know, like I didn't see it on her when we were talking the whole time, but then it's like she went to go leave and like she had this like shawl thing. I have no idea, but anyway, I am going to I'm gonna scroll back and I'm gonna read your comments. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read your comments. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited you commented this much. I'm so excited. You know what I mean? Do I think it bothers and affects her energy? I was wondering how they change when they transition, or if it affects her at all. In the end, yes, I've been feeling like that too. She was on oxygen. She whistled really loud when it was time to come home when we were playing outside. That must be what that is, because I got it after the kids, and it was like kids, like not in the house. It was like in a yard or a field. Like, I want to say a field. It was like a yard or like a field or something, and it was like, and as there were like these little kids, like, and they were like different heights, and I wasn't quite sure if it was the same couple kids, and she's just like, oh, progression, or if they were different kids, but like there was a couple of them, like maybe 3-4 of them. And like, she showed me the kids in the field, the image, like grass, and then it's like the whistle came in and I was like, what? And then back to the kids' images. So that's very interesting. I gave her slippers for Christmas. Oh, dude, that's so awesome. That's how I talk about it. I'm shaking so bad. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She was Christian, but she also believed in traditional Indian medicine. Ew. That's why we get along. That's why we get along. That's why we get along. No, I feel like she loves you. Oh, thanks. I hope so. That makes me feel so good, though, because, like, that makes me feel so good, because I honor certain things for certain reasons, which are personal to me, which I won't share, obviously. But, like, it makes me feel good that, like, people of that culture, I'm, like, feel comfortable enough to chit-chat and are not feeling disrespected or anything like that. Like, that makes me feel so good. Like, that makes me feel so good. I would love to talk to you privately. I mean, you already know. You can always talk to me privately. We have private spaces, but yeah, so, yeah. No, dude, she's great. Like, she's great. Oh, Tart Water, welcome in, welcome in. They are literally little bowls, too. Yeah, like, she's just showing me, like, these little, you know, and then there was, like, something about, like, liquid or water or something, like, it was interesting. A shawl, yes. Oh my goodness, you were so spot on, thank you. You gave me such relief. Oh, thank you so much. Like, thank you so much. And that's really funny that it was you, because I didn't realize it was you asking that question because I didn't read your handle. But now everything I was getting makes so much sense. But I only feel comfortable saying certain things on live because, I don't know, because of what I view things as. So, I don't know. I just don't ever want to disrespect anybody, you know. But yeah, so I am so excited that helped you. Like, in some way, shape, or form, like, I'm super excited. And the fact that she felt comfortable enough to talk to me and we could talk about that type of a culture and that type of a belief and tradition and honor, like, makes me super excited. Like, makes me super excited because that culture resonates so much with me, and it resonates in such a deeply rooted way that, that's fantastic. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm super excited because I try my hardest to not disrespect anything. I try my hardest to, like, truly learn the ins and outs of things and understand it from many different levels. So that's amazing. Like, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing for me. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I only feel comfortable saying certain things to certain people. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Little Ducky, I see you too. Welcome in, Little Ducky. She would love to talk to you. That's fantastic. Dude, I need to get my butt down to GL. Like, I do. I need to do that at some point. I do. Because she has offered us to come to the reservation and meet people and to, like, chit chat and have a good time, and me and Keys need to do that. We just got so much going on but yeah, there's a lot to be explored there, and I would love to have a chit chat with you, and I never know, like, what to say or what to do, but then when we get talking, I'm always good, you know what I mean? But for sure, like, that makes me feel so happy. So I'm glad that it brought you some relief, dude. Like, I'm glad that it brought you something, because the second you started talking about her, she was right up in my space. So I am super excited. Like, I'm super satisfied. Like, I'm just glad that she felt comfortable enough to talk to me about certain things, and, you know what I mean? And, should we be in private company, like, my birth guy would go 2 to 10, and we would have some conversations. I could tell you that right now, because there were so many things that I wanted to say, and I'm like, I can't say them. I don't feel comfortable saying them. So, but yeah, so I thank you. Like, thank you. You made my night. You single-handedly made my night. That's fantastic. I'm so glad, dude. Thank you for allowing me in your space. Thank you. You know, thank her as well for allowing her to hang out with us. That's fantastic. Like, I'm so excited. That's fantastic. I would love that too. I really want to talk about these things more. I've always been very private. Yeah. No, I thrive on privacy. I do. I'll say things in a private space, but on live, I'm very close to the chest, because you just never know what people are doing. You know what I mean? Not everybody needs to know everything. I'm a true believer in that. Not everybody needs to know everything. So, yeah, but we have private spaces and stuff like that. Like, so if that's something that you want, like, you already know, on the website, you can find us. You can find me. You can find Keys. Like, I'm honored just to have you in my space, to be honest. Like, I love your energy. So, like, thank you. You know what I mean? I'm going to head out of here, guys, because I got a busy day tomorrow. We will be on live. Absolutely, I'll be there. I love your energy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I will see you guys later. I'm going to pop off here. If you're not a member of the website, go join. It's www.childofbalance.com. It's 100% free. You know what I mean? Just have a bunch of fun. Check it out. There's so much to learn there. There's a lot of free stuff, free articles, free stuff. Like, just go have fun on there. We're also on YouTube. We're on Instagram. So check out that. Instagram has completely different content. So, like, if you're looking for something completely different, it's Instagram. Instagram is nothing even close to what we do here. Completely different. So just check it out. Thank you so much for all your time, your space, your energy. I will be back on tomorrow. I'm shooting for like 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we might go from the couch. I don't know. We're going to see. You know what I mean? We're going to see. I don't know. We'll see how it feels. I feel like I want to be surrounded by light. Like I want sunlight. So maybe we'll go from the couch with the window open or something. We'll see. But I will see you guys there. Thank you so much for all the gifts, the shares, the follow, the likes. Like, we are at 13.3. There's those threes again, keys. 13.3K likes. Like, thank you so much. You're going to go before Colin as art? Oh, hell. Okay, we're going to have to talk then. Yeah, let's talk then. Let's talk. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you for everything, guys. I will see you guys later.